Alright, welcome back to the League Race. This time we're back with FTRL for GT7 here at round 2, which is Trial Mountain, I believe. This track is so enjoyable to drive. I'm gonna take you through it. This is qualifying, so the format this week is a mandatory stop mandatory stop rather, 4 times tyre wear, 4 times fuel, and the medium compound must be used in the race. So it's a longer race. It's not the 2 sprints. It's one longer race with 4 times fuel wear and 4 times tyre wear, and yeah, one mandatory stint on the mediums. So I'm going to take you through a flying lap of this. I honestly, like, doing practice for this. This track is difficult, I thought at the start, but I really enjoy it. This is honestly such a thrill to drive, and the race was very much the same story. Anyways, take you on the lap because you don't get a chance really to take, because how split the racing can be sometimes. Sometimes you don't get a chance to really show the actual lap in full. So you may as well see what you're working with. Anyways, a very fast left-hander coming up. This is the last week I think I'm using the actual brake reference. I do have my own references. The braking zones here, I kind of just... Oh, sorry. Now we're starting a flying lap. What the hell was that for? This is my fastest lap. Jeez. Anyway, this is my fastest lap then in qualifying. A couple of runs in qualifying. I want to take as much of that as you can. I used a bit of the dirt on the right hand side, and that was nice. That was really, really nice. Just as the tunnel really starts here into the braking zone, you can feel it in the wheel when it has enough give where you can get on the throttle again. It's just so incredibly responsive. This is a tough right-hander. I didn't get that quite right, and I hit the wall there as well. So this lap could be better so far. This one, just hug the right-hand side if you can. Again, using the start of the tunnel really as the brake, and then again you feel it in the wheel till a certain point where you can let it go and just really get as much of that exit as you can. Super satisfying to get right. I love the combination of the corners here. It is just a fabulous circuit. Log straight then down towards through another tunnel. This is one again. I think I go a little bit past. There's a sign on the right hand side. Yeah, just after that. Again, nice and tight, and then you'll feel it in the wheel. Get on the throttle. Could have taken a bit more out of that. This last sector I think is quite tricky. It can be tricky. Anyways, downhill braking zone. Easy to get this wrong. Stick to the right hand side. Use much of the track on the exit. Down the hill. This was the tougher one, the tougher braking zones. Really wanted to get a good exit here. I was a bit too conservative on my entry there. And then this last complex is quite difficult as well. There's a bit of moss on the right hand side. There you go. That's where I start braking. Into the left and try and straighten up and try and take as much of this as I can. Yeah, very nice last corner there, to be fair. So, what's this going to be good enough for? I can't even remember what my PB was at this stage. I used to remember my PBs. I had some good ones too. This is a 51-1, I think. So pretty good. I'm not too upset with that. So I think that would be good enough. That would be good enough for 7th in the end. Just a really satisfying lap of Trial Mountain, man. It's so fun. I just really love to get into a groove. It's been a joy to drive these tracks. I've done races since, so it's been the same thing where it's just an absolute joy to drive. Anyway, it's just the one race, and then so no mistakes. Try and get this right, and we'll get not too many people out. Not as many people out this week as last week, so we could get some good points here if we get this right. Shit start. I haven't reacted again. I think part of me was paranoid because of the issue last week where my traction was like on 3 at the start of race 2. We had that glitch, so I've lost positions as a result. I'm still trying to learn how to race wheel to wheel here, and the rules of engagement are different here compared to F1 because there's no real damage. But again, move on the outside there against SBY. So we'll have to keep an eye on him. He's going to be an interesting one for reference later. And then just trying to hang around the outside the blue flag, and I probably could have gone on the throttle there. Big incident there. T Smith goes round, blue flag goes into him, I go into him, and that allows SBY to get around the jump on the inside, but he's kind of pinched there. So you can see there's a few cars here. I'm going to try and back out this a little bit to try and preserve myself a little bit. Still got a car there in blue flag, but we get by him. So a couple of places up and down here and there. Nice run onto this straight, I have to say. A nice run. Again, slipstream is tough here. You have to really get a good run out of it to get a good slipstream. Unless you're in a 4GT, then of course you're in a good spot down this main straight. down any main straight in this class really, with the cars that we had available. Phone. So yeah, I think I left this first lap in. Didn't get the best of run there. Again, the radar is extremely accurate, to be fair. So like, a car is literally on your ass, and technically there's if you see down on the dash, there's like when a car gets close, you see like the 3 circles go red. I find that a difficult reference. I don't find that particularly useful. I find the radar useful, but of course you have to try and mix and manage it. You know, I generally think, and especially here, I'm looking at my fuel. I want to keep looking at my fuel for this race as well as my sector times, just to see where I'm going wrong. So, but there's always first lap nerves. I always feel like, you know, you're nervous on a first lap. You can't just try and settle into it. But considering the start, I think to finish P8 in this lap 1 wasn't too bad, to be fair. So, good lap anyways. Decent opening lap then to survive some of the carnage, and then we'll work our way through. Lap number 3 is 25 laps. These are not short laps either, so this is a long one. The car goes off. That is Jonesy, so that's another position gained right there. What I didn't know actually in qualifying, that's what I meant to show. That's what that piece was in qualifying. It was to show that people coming into the pits at the end of their first their out lap to then put on a set of softs. So they start on the mediums and qualify on the softs, whereas I just qualified on mediums. That's what that was. Anyways, lap number 7. So yeah, we're kind of moving on a little bit here. I believe this is when some of the guys, who is it? Blue Flag had putting pressure on me from behind. Again, so before in GT, I have been this slower driver, so to speak. So I'm having to deal with pressure from behind. It's not something I'm still getting used to. Following behind cars as well. I'm still learning the craft here very much, but this is a good test to see how I've kind of come on and see how I can endure and see how I can react and respond to pressure from behind, and what I can do about defending, and how defensive do I go. So yeah, this is all good practice for stuff like that. So heading on to lap number 8, then you can see the gap is a gap to T Smith. So there's 2 T Smiths. I never knew which is. I know the real T Smith is T Smith, the one that's leading there. I don't know which one T Smith 96 is. If you come into the pits then, so I decided beforehand I was going to do medium. I felt that was a better way to go about it. Yes, you're refueling for a bit longer, but you're not dealing with the sauce. But I felt comfortable with the medium here, so I felt good enough that it was a good enough tire to go the distance on, and just split the strategy down the middle, just go midway through the race, and then go from there, and we'll see what happens. But I felt good with my pace on mediums, and I'm still holding off Blue Flag, or holding off. Cusker then was one of the guys we passed in the pits. He went on for some softs, so again, because he's doing the 2-stop, he doesn't have to stay as long refueling the car. So it's you're actually not in the pits too long, to be fair, comparatively speaking. And there's a nice, he'd have a nice performance boost with those softs. Didn't quite hit the apex right there, but thankfully I lost enough time where he's just going to zip on by. Is he in a McLaren or is he in a Ford? I'm actually not sure. But anyways, he goes through. And that looks like a Ford or a Ferrari. I think it's a Ford. So yeah, so I lose a minimal time possible getting passed by him. So maybe we'll see him again later on. Maybe we won't. But we pulled the gap to Blue Flag, which was great because he was putting us in pressure. And we put that gap up. So I was really happy about that. That I was driving consistently. That we could actually push a lead. And I think that's one of the big things in these races is just not making mistakes, and you could just make up so much time by just being consistent rather than being quick sometimes. And I've got some decent pace regardless, and I like to think these days, but there's a better pace at least. Was this the one I got the... no, not this lap anyways. There's one lap where I took a little bit too much. I think there was one lap I took a little bit too much out of turn 1 and got a penalty. I don't think I actually showed it because it actually was inconsequential. Lap 13, so I decided this lap was the lap I'm going to pit. So I'm running in 3rd. There's a few guys behind me. Like you see my tyres are wrecked. The Delta wasn't actually too bad, to be fair. Like you see, the lap times they're still pretty decent. Did not take a good line through this corner. So I know I got T-Smith behind me, so I'm going to just pull into the pits. And yeah, he'll go on and I'll go into the pits. You can actually see how this all works. So anyways, onto the medium tyres then. Now, I got confused at the start during this race as to what the fuel... This is the fuel that's currently in the car. So I only need enough fuel to get me, it's another, say I put another 10 laps of fuel in the car and I'll be good. So what do they actually put in the end? So I thought this was maybe, I don't know, I just got all confused at what the fuel actually was, or what the refueling bit was, because you lose, I think it's like 3 seconds per litre. So if tires go on, and then the fuel goes up. So what did I actually leave it to in the end? So this race happened a few weeks ago, so I don't know. I should have gone now, but I put in, I think I put in the number, oh jeez. That probably cost me like 12 seconds. Oh god. I put in what I thought was enough to, like, you know, the remaining number of laps, but I had plus 2.5 laps of fuel in the car. So, oh, that's actually painful looking back on it now that I look at it. You'll see what happens later on. So we're in P8 then. We've got some people on different strategies in front and older tires, so I'm going to make this work. So we actually caught up Zom here pretty quickly. And now it's one of those situations where I'm not really used to in GT, where I have to go on the aggressive. I have to go make an overtake because I have now the superior pace. And this is now a different test for me. I haven't really been through this yet. So we're going to see how we line this up and how we can use our tire advantage against our competitors here. So again, this is a test. Zom goes deep here, so again, no way by really through here. Let's again not going to drive around the outside. So, but I was already targeting right. I'm going to get an excellent launch off this corner. He goes defensive. I'm just going to take my normal racing line and sweep in, and yeah, no worries. I don't have to worry about slipstream. You can just go right on by. My better run off that corner will take me through, and just checking the clearance. He's going to slip into the slipstream, but he's got worse tires than I do, I imagine. So I'm not too worried. I'm just going to go a little bit defensive, and then I'm going to go back to the racing line. And I'm just going to take my normal line, and he's going to have to get out of it a little bit earlier because I just have better tires. I can brake later. So we get through, and we move up into P7 then. So yeah, a nice overtake to make use of the extra tire advantage there. So moving on into lap number. Heading on to lap 17, so blue flag again is in front. So again, looking back on it, I should have come out ahead here if I had understood the refueling better. But now I know, so you know, next time this won't be an issue. So yeah, geez, I really did lose like 10 or so seconds there. That's tough. So I really should have been clear of this, of both of those guys. But anyways, we're gonna make. I didn't know this at the time, of course. I had no idea. So we're going to do our best anyways. And again, I found that corner tricky, man. It's just difficult to get ahead to the right hand side because there's a bit you can hit and you can kind of ping off it on the inside. So as I think he makes a big mistake here, does blue flag, because he gets his run. Oh, you can see him actually at the end of it trying to catch the slide. So anyways, that's an easy overtake there where he's going to go on through. So that was one I was worried about because we had similar pace at me and blue flag, and it was looking, you know, I wasn't sure how I could maybe get by under normal circumstances. But anyways, we got through. So lap number 18 then, heading on to lap 19. Mikey then comes into the pits, but he's going to emerge just in front here, I believe. So he's on soft, so yeah, he's going to emerge ahead there. So he's going to be nice and quick, and yeah, so no position gained. We are pulling the gap on blue flag. There's 2 seconds. Oh, I love riding that first curve, man. It's just beautiful to let the car just slide in. This first sector is so nice. It is just an absolute joy. I think I did 51.1, which I think is quicker than my qualifying time. I'm seeing on the right-hand side. I actually can't remember off the top of my head. You'll be able to tell me. I'll be going back and watching the video. Last lap then, lap 25 then. Pretty simple from here on. Pagani had some sort of issue towards the end of this race. He was really slow. I made a few mistakes myself, and I kind of wish I made a few mistakes myself towards the end of this race, and I lost a bit of ground to Pagani. But the tires were going pretty bad at this stage. I'm also carrying too much fuel at this point as well. I'm probably carrying 4 laps extra fuel. So had I not done that, I think I could have finished ahead of Pagani, which would have been absolute win. But really, you know what? We're going to come across the line in P6. And some excellent points there, because there's neither of my teammates could make it this particular week. So carrying the milk among on my shoulders this week too in their absence. So yeah, happy days. I'm glad to have them back at future races, of course. So yeah, good points there. Good points. Really happy with that. Pace was good. Only 23 seconds off the win in the end, over 25 laps. That's not bad. That's really not bad. That's less than a second a lap slower than the top guys. So Really pleased about that. T Smith then absolutely smashed it. Kushka then finished second, and SBY, who were racing early on, finished in third and fourth there. So yeah, that was pretty good, I have to say. And here's the standings then after the Ash. So we're actually in third. Now we did use our handicap in week 1, so yeah, so that's partly why we're up as we are. But happy days, you know. I'll always take being this. I'll always, you know me. I excel at being out of my depth in championship standings. So, you know, we'll take that. But it's very enjoyable. Honestly, that track was an absolute delight. It really was. So I'm looking forward to getting to drive there again sometime. Hopefully in Group 3. But anyways, let's go do it for this week's edition of FTRL GT7. Next up is, what was it? It's Watkins Glen, a track I've never raced before. So yeah, should be fun. We'll see. So yeah, until next time.